He opened a box of dehydrated feces, added water to soak them until soft, then transformed the workspace into a greenhouse. He spread a thick layer of soil, fertilized it, and planted the seeds. The plot covered a full 126 square meters. Growing crops required a huge amount of water, which was almost impossible to obtain on Mars for Mark. He thought about it all night, and eventually found a solution. He took a barrel of the spacecraft's reserve fuel, used the rare metal iridium as a catalyst, and separated nitrogen and hydrogen. As long as he ignited the hydrogen with a wire, he could produce water, and he cheered with joy. But an accident occurred. It turned out his breathing altered the oxygen concentration, and the second time he put on his helmet, the ignition was successful. After one night, the plastic sheets were covered with water droplets, and the water problem was solved. Just 2 weeks later, the potatoes he planted began to sprout, and Mark finally relaxed. He cleaned the solar panels, then traveled across the Martian surface for 15 days, where he found the Mars probe launched many years earlier. Using this machine, he was able to send photos back to Earth. His teammates finally learned that he was still alive, and everyone was filled with guilt. But Mark didn't blame them. He started broadcasting the miracles he was creating on Mars, and he was happy every day. But another accident soon occurred. A hole in the airlock caused a massive explosion. Mark sealed his helmet with tape, which saved his life, but the potatoes were instantly frozen to death. Mark recalculated his food supply, and realized the potatoes would only last 600 days, while NASA's resupply mission was scheduled for 800 days later. Mark was very sad, but he didn't give up on life. He completed various experiments on behalf of his teammates, which inspired the team as he continued the mission. They soon came up with a second rescue plan. On the 461st day on Mars, he left the base, heading for the designated launch site. After 77 days, Mark arrived safely at the site, removed all the windows from the spacecraft, then stripped away all other detachable equipment, even turning the spacecraft's roof into fabric, all to reduce weight so the spacecraft could fly further. On day 560, the space station successfully reached the outer edge of Mars orbit. Mark finished his last meal on Mars, said goodbye to the rover, and put on his spacesuit. When he connected to his teammates' channel, he finally burst into tears of joy. Then the engines were ignited, and Mark finally left Mars. But when the fuel ran out, he still failed to reach the target altitude. The space station accelerated towards him, but they couldn't slow down in time. They mixed sugar and detergent to make a bomb, used it to blow open the airlock, and successfully decelerated. The commander seized the moment and left the station, finally seeing Mark, but the safety tether was still too short, so Mark also took a risk to make it happen.